I thought I'd film my part in a Volkswagen, as you can see here, just to explain why this happened. And it pretty much occurred because Volkswagen were moving towards a more environmentally friendly production line. And we can see in this car here that this button right here is a byproduct of that move. That pretty much, when your car's in a neutral position, it turns off into a hybrid mode as a way of reducing the amount of carbon dioxide that's emitted from the car. So Volkswagen wanted to try and target this growing market of environmentally friendly cars. And they achieved this status at the time by creating a new vehicle line. So the feed device controlled the amount of carbon dioxide that was getting emitted. It misled regulators. But when regulators put the car onto a track, they realized that the amount of carbon dioxide getting emitted was actually 40 times more than what was allowed within the United States. This caused serious damage to the environment and serious damage to Volkswagen's reputation within the market.
Alright, so just 2.5 weeks after the Volkswagen emissions scandal was exposed to the world, Volkswagen's reputation was left in tatters. So the company initially blamed the moral and political disaster on the unlawful behavior of the engineers and technicians that were involved in the engine development. However, blaming a ban of rogue engineers was a poor explanation, and especially since German newspapers reported that the company had been previously warned by both employees and their key supplier, Bosch. Even though Volkswagen boasted of sustainability that catered to customers who cared about their carbon footprint for their vehicles, they failed to deliver their promise knowingly. The way Volkswagen approached this disaster only amplified the public's anger and disappointment in Volkswagen. So they needed to take responsibility and take action to alleviate the issue. Volkswagen's renowned purpose, which is to offer attractive, safe and environmentally sound vehicles, has been tarnished. And they can no longer retain their status as a respectable company. So from my point of view, the most ethical approach that Volkswagen could have taken was for CEO Martin Winterkorn to voluntarily step down from his position and apologize to the public for deceiving them and just resolving the situation, as opposed to using employees as his scapegoat. So when corporations proclaiming social and ethical leadership and violate their own stated standards, they are liable to charges of hypocrisy and will suffer disproportionately.
Over the last decade, corporate social responsibility and sustainability has occupied a prominent place on the global corporate agenda, with an ever-increasing number of corporations engaging in responsible and sustainable business practices to create social and business value. According to the Ethical Judgment Framework, Volkswagen corporate conduct indicated moral issues, hypothetically showing that under no moral guidelines was Volkswagen's activities legitimate. This scandal is a disturbing case of systematic corporate fraud that has harmed customers, governments, and the health and well-being of citizens. We see that every few years a severe, high-profile corporate and their social account occurs, capturing the attention of the media and damaging the public's trust in the corporations and their social accountability. Following this ethical disaster also came about a drastic drop in the public's approval of the brand, where research even showed that 64% of US vehicle owners no longer trusted Volkswagen, and only 25% held a positive view of the company. My overall opinion is that the government should have had stricter regulations in order to minimize the chances of business corporations to act unethically.
Hi, my name is Roger Cerruto, and I'd like to talk to you today about the Volkswagen's carbon emission scandal and how they should have responded to it. So first off, once the announcement that that Volkswagen's diesel vehicles were emitting vast amount of carbon into the Earth's atmosphere, Volkswagen should have responded and admitted to the whole activity of such. The next step I would say for Volkswagen would be to state a company-wide memo stating their next steps to take care of this issue, and then creating a recall and how to take care of the recall. So the recall would include a buyback strategy for the dealerships, but Volkswagen Motor Company should pay the individual dealerships so that their dealerships wouldn't go bankrupt. Um, and lastly, they should have done a large scale PR campaign, which would include commercials, billboards, computer advertisements, and this would like ensure customers, future customers, and existing customers that they're moving towards more of an environmentally safe alternative, and to make sure that this scandal would be done and over with.
The Volkswagen emission scandal, or Dieselgate as it has come to be known, is now just another in a long list of massive corporate scandals which have panned out to have very few serious long-term consequences for the company. Like Nike with its unethical treatment of staff, Commonwealth Bank's fee for no service, and Facebook's privacy breaches, while initially seen as a threat to the viability of these brands, recovery efforts mainly focusing on reducing the liability of the company through the use of scapegoats such as third-party contractors or rogue employees in the case of Volkswagen, coupled with a targeted campaign spouting rehabilitation and renewed company focus on CSR and social issues, as well as the established reputation of these products, allow these companies to come away relatively unscathed, often facing a relatively small fine and a small number of often high-level employees being forced out of the job. In the case of Dieselgate, Volkswagen has been forced to pay out over $30 billion US to settle various criminal and civil cases, and has had 6 high-level managers and engineers either fired or arrested, with the CEO, Martin Winterkorn, stepping down also. However, despite a large number of employees stating that Mr. Winterkorn did have explicit knowledge of the cheating, he has avoided charges. Instead, his self-described henchman will face 7 years in jail. This highlights the lack of accountability for the decision makers within massive corporations and for the corporations themselves, as the non-stop cycle of news and consumer reliance upon these big brands means the public tends to willingly forget about these scandals for convenience sake, leading to very little long-term consequences for these companies.